The lower house of Parliament convened on Tuesday with one of the matters down to be decided, the extension of the state of emergency. Prime Minister Alan Shastney said exercising the powers under the state of emergency is not one to be taken lightly, but he warned that the failure to make the hard choices may have serious implications in the near future. He pointed to the situation in some of the countries hardest hit by COVID-19.
And so when we see countries having to go down to long periods of lockdowns, it means that the COVID has gotten ahead of them, or they're anticipating that COVID might get ahead of them. But there are countries like Taiwan, Mr. Speaker, and Singapore that have shown us that we can coexist with COVID, that you can open up your economy, and if once you're putting in the proper social distancing practices, and more importantly, that you have effective enforcement of those, that those changes can make. So continuing the emergency authority allows the Minister of Commerce, as an example, to make some very quick decisions, and Cabinet to make some very quick decisions of broadening the list of companies that can open up. With that explanation, Mr. Speaker, I'm hoping that we can get the support of all the parliamentarians in agreeing at this time to extend the authority for 30 more days. Again, Parliament is not being asked to extend it by 12 months or 6 months or 3 months, but simply by 30 days.
The leader of the opposition, Philip J. Pierre, in his contribution to the debate, said once again the opposition is standing in solidarity with the government, but he urged the Prime Minister to consider that the emergency measures do not impact everyone equally.
We are coming back for another month. The Prime Minister said that it seems that things are getting under control. He said it seems. I really hope, for our sake, that that is true. Because we do not want not to be able to hold a public meeting. We don't want not to be able to hold our number gatherings. We don't want it. And this emergency powers says we can't. And we listen. So I really hope that we can very soon, once the science, I want to emphasize, once the science says it is okay that these powers can be relaxed. It said until the end of May, as we took a position before, we are going to, well, not allow, because we're not in this society we live in, we're not in a position to stop anything. But we will go ahead with that notion for the month of May.
The Member of Parliament for Beaufort North, Moses John Baptist, said though he supports the government in dealing with this crisis, he was disappointed in the failure of the Prime Minister to provide a detailed feedback to the Parliament.
Because if we are reposing in the Prime Minister such extraordinary powers, it is his responsibility to come to the House to tell us what worked, what didn't work.
The lower house of Parliament approved the extension of the emergency powers legislation, which will run from the 27th of April to the 31st of May 2020. This empowers the Prime Minister to impose or relax measures as he sees fit in an effort to curtail the spread of COVID-19 without having to seek approval of either Parliament or Cabinet. Saint Lucia for the HTS News Force.